Ezekiel. Introduction. Unlike other books of the Bible, Bergsma and Pitre write, I quote, "Both ancient and contemporary commentators are largely agreed upon the fact that the book of Ezekiel is what it presents itself to be, the work of the prophet and priest Ezekiel, whose public ministry took place at the time of the Babylonian exile. Indeed, in the case of Ezekiel, the ordinary situation is reversed. While ancient rabbinic tradition held that the men of the Great Synagogue wrote Ezekiel, many modern scholars think that the book was, for the most part, actually composed by the prophet himself. Ezekiel's Hebrew name is Yechezqel. The name is made up by two words, El, meaning God, and chazaq, a root word signifying strength. In accordance with the meaning of his name, Ezekiel preaches a message to strengthen the people of Judah during their time of exile in Babylon. Andreas Hoch and Laurie W. Mandhart divide Ezekiel's prophecies to his exiled people in 6 ways. Ezekiel's call, chapter 1 through 3, Jerusalem warned, chapters 4 through 11, Israel's exile, chapter 12 through 19, Israel's unfaithfulness, chapters 20 through 24, Judgments against nations, chapters 25 through 32, Israel restored, chapters 33 through 39, and a renewed Israel, chapters 40 through 48. Ezekiel's call, chapters 1 through 3. In the first chapter, Ezekiel identifies himself as Ezekiel the priest, who accompanies the Babylonian exiles by a river where he sees divine visions. These visions inform his complementary role as a prophet. In the first vision, he sees 4 brightly gleaming creatures united together in a fire. Although each had similar-looking wings and human-looking bodies, they had different faces: human, lion, ox, and eagle. These 4 creatures have been interpreted as representing the 4 evangelists: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Both Jerome and Gregory the Great identify the human-faced creature with Matthew, the lion-faced creature with Mark, the ox-faced creature with Luke, and the eagle-faced creature with John. Gregory the Great writes, and I quote, "The preface of each gospel avers that these 4 winged creatures denote the 4 holy evangelists. Because he began from the generations of humankind, Matthew is justly represented by a man. Because of the crying in the wilderness, Mark is rightly indicated by a lion. Because he started from a sacrifice, Luke is well described as an ox. And because he begins with the divinity of the Word, John is worthily signified by an eagle, he who says, 'In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.' While he stretched toward the very substance of divinity, he fixed his eye on the sun, as if in the fashion of an eagle. But because all the elect are members of our Savior, for our Savior is indeed the head of all the elect, and that his members are thereby depicted, there is no obstacle to even him being signified in all these. For the only begotten Son of God truly became man. He deigned to die like an ox at sacrifice for our salvation. He, through the virtue of his fortitude, rose as a lion. Moreover, the lion is said to sleep with open eyes, because, in the very death in which our Savior could sleep through his humanity, by remaining immortal in his divinity, he kept vigil. Furthermore, ascending to heaven after his resurrection, he was carried aloft to the heights like an eagle. He is therefore wholly the same within us at the same time, who became a man by being born, an ox in dying, a lion in rising again, and an eagle in ascending to the heavens." After encountering these strange creatures, the Lord speaks to him and commissions Ezekiel to preach to the sons of Israel, to a nation of rebels, "And you shall speak my words to them, whether they hear or refuse to hear." Ezekiel 2:3-7. As God speaks to him, Ezekiel sees a hand reaching out to him. The hand is holding a scroll with writing on it. Ezekiel is commanded in a similar way as John will be commanded in the book of Revelation to eat what is offered to you, eat this scroll, and go speak to the house of Israel. Ezekiel 3:1.